Hey guys, this is James from DigiArt Tutorials. Today we're going to talk about the effect that different backgrounds have on your images. When you're creating your work and also presenting it, the look of your images can drastically change depending on what background you have. A lot of artists simply use white all the time to present their work, but white may not always be the best choice. The important thing to remember is that your subject can appear different depending on which background you choose, so it's very important to choose a background that gives you the look that you want. For example, the value of your background can change how your subject looks. Let me explain. So let's go to a pure white background and then add a traditional art school 9-step value scale. By the way, it's called a 9-step value scale because there's 9 steps of value between black and white. So the important thing here is you'll see how the value or the range of light to dark will appear different when I change the background. If I change the background to pure black, you'll notice the value scale appears overall lighter. It looks like white fills in a lot more of the steps. If I switch back to white, the scale appears much darker, as if black fills in more of the steps. Let's show the same value scale side to side with different backgrounds to really let your eyes see the difference. Now if I make the background a medium gray, you'll notice the value scale now has a balanced feeling to it. There's a good general balance between light and dark. So artists use this concept to make sure their values look the way they want them to, not too bright or not too dark. For example, if I want my subject to appear lighter, then I place it on a darker value, and vice versa. Your background also affects the color of your subject. One way to make your color work really stand out is to place it against an unsaturated background or its complementary color. For example, a vibrant red apple is really going to stand out against an unsaturated green background, even so much that it's hard to look at. The colors of your subject also appear different depending on what color you place behind it. This effect is sometimes called color relativity. For example, this periwinkle color looks different on the blue background than it does on the yellow background. Why is that? Well, your eye is always trying to find contrast, and since the blue and periwinkle are pretty similar, the blues cancel out, and your eye has to emphasize the elements that are different. This periwinkle appears much more blue over the yellow-orange because they're complements on the color wheel, and your eye doesn't have to work as hard to find the contrast. Also, the color of an object can appear warmer or cooler depending on the background color. For example, this unsaturated red looks warm when it's placed against this cool blue background. But when you place that same red on a warmer background, it appears cool. They may look different, but they're both the same color. The important thing here is to remember that red doesn't always look red and blue isn't always going to look blue. We'll cover more about color relativity in other videos, but that's just an example of how background colors can affect your subjects. So experiment with different values, hues, temperatures, and saturations of backgrounds and see what works well with your images. Thanks for watching and see you next time.